fans. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. I am Zach Lentz. He is Jason Priester, and this is the All Clemson Tigers radio show. So hope y'all are having an awesome Tuesday. Jason, there is a rumor going around that people really like that hat that you have on.
I got some I got some very nice compliments on this hat last night on Monday Live, man. People want to know where they can get it.
Well, excuse me. I was a little under the weather yesterday, so y'all has to, bear with me. But yeah, so I was going to announce this, you know, tonight anyway. However, if you go over and you subscribe to our Death Valley domain, it's the insider area of all Clemson Tigers where we have recruiting stories, insights, uh, anything and everything you could possibly want. It is only $4.99 a month or $49 a year. And listen, we are going to have, you know, virtual happy hours and all kinds of stuff that is a blast. So if you go and you join right now, you will be entered in a drawing. When we hit, I was thinking it should be 500, winners. What do you think, Jason? 500, 750, 1,000? How many winners should we make this giveaway? Because when I tell you what this giveaway is, you're going to lose your mind.
1,000.
All right.
The same high.
So Jason has spoken. As soon as we hit 1,000 subscribers, you are going to win the ultimate All Clemson swag pack. That will include a purple Nike Clemson All Clemson shirt. Jason, if you have any of this stuff nearby and you can show it to them, that would be great. Also, you will win a All Clemson puffer jacket. Also, you will win this Fire All Clemson t-shirt. You'll also win a Nike hat. And also, you will win an All Clemson hat like Jason has on. He has gone to gather up some of the swag. And you'll also get, a
Which
cup.
shirt did you say?
I said the purple Nike shirt as well as the All Clemson jacket.
This one, the polo shirt?
Yeah.
All right, I ain't got the purple one on me. It's in the dirty clothes. So this in purple.
Yeah.
Here's the puffer jacket.
That's it. Yeah. The hat that Jason's wearing as well as a uh, black Nike hat and also a white Nike hat. So we are going to load you up with the ultimate All Clemson swag hat. That is as soon as we hit the 1,000 subscriber mark over here at Death Valley domain, which you can go to allclemsontigers.com and subscribe there is the cheapest subscription you can get. However, it has the most content. So, don't miss out on that because it is an awesome deal. We are giving away everything that we have swag wise. So yeah.
And it ain't cheap swag either. It's good stuff.
Yes it is. And so let's go ahead and I didn't tell you about this new segment because I kind of wanted it to be a surprise, but I think that, we need this new segment in our show, so we're going to kick it off right now. Alright, so it's Jason's bad luck story time. What is going on in the world of Jason Priester in Townsville? I mean, there has to have been some more bad luck heading your way.
You know what? I know I can't. Other than my Wi-Fi's been crapping out on me the past few days, and Spectrum won't do jack squat about it. I think it dropped on me 6 times yesterday, twice while we were doing press conferences. It hadn't dropped at all today, so you know. Yeah, and on another note, on the opposite side of that spectrum, my dog's finally getting her surgery tomorrow. So I mean, I guess that's a
Uh,
good thing, man, because she can finally quit wearing the diaper.
uh, that's
You're
right.
chewing them
You
up, man.
and you can quit having to go buy your dog tampons and maxi pads and all that stuff. I
My
am sure. I am sure the lady at Dollar General, is on a first name basis with
my
you.
daughter just cannot understand why I refuse to go buy maxi pad. I can't explain it to her. I just ain't doing it. It's one thing. That's one thing that I'm not. You know, what you got a mama, and she handles that stuff.
Oh, you are. So what you're saying is that you are. Uh, oh, that is great.
I've had enough
Um,
bad luck lately. I need a few days of just.
uh, yeah. The thing is, though, that doesn't go with the theme of
No,
our new
you
segment.
know what? You know what? I guess I can add this. Since we've last done this show, I had to put my truck in the shop. I said that last time. It's got something wrong with it. $100 something later, they can't tell me what the hell's wrong with it, and it's still doing the same thing. That falls
Uh,
into the category, right?
yeah, yeah. It sounds like your mechanics down there almost as good as ours up here. Yeah,
And you
it's
know, I generally like my mechanic, man. He's been very. I know him. He's been very good to me, and it's it's a mystery to him too. I get it.
yeah. See, I am absolutely zero about cars and stuff.
Me
So
either.
I mean, last time I had to really take my car in was, let's see, it was probably 4 or 5 years ago. And I swear the guy was like, "Yeah, you got unicorns in your tailpipe. They're poking holes in it, and you got you little leprechauns running around and screwing with your alternator. So it's gonna be like $10,000 for me to fix all that." I mean, I
Had a
was like,
couple of them.
I don't have a clue. I mean, I ain't know nothing about that stuff.
I
But
don't
I
either.
swear there's some of them that are out there that are as crooked as the day is long.
I would be the first to admit I am not very mechanically inclined at all. You know, I can take wood and build a little pump house and build some steps and a little porch, and that's about as far as my mechanically inclined skills go.
Yeah. So Dow is really impressed with FAU, their C and O line size. You hope that's a good test for our defense. But you know what? It's a good thing that Dow spoke to, and we have the clips of him. So let's hear from the man himself.
All right. Well, again, proud of our guys for this past week and getting on the right track. Did a lot of great things in the game, and excited about being back at home this week. Another opportunity for us to go play. It was an awesome environment last week, and I know this weekend will be as well. Night game in the Valley is always a lot of fun, so look forward to being a part of that. This is a really dangerous football team coming in here. A team they got some weapons, they got some tools. The quarterback's been around. He's not going to be a guy that's going to be overwhelmed with the environment. This is a kid that has started at Texas and started at Nebraska, so he's been in, a lot of big time games and understands the environment that he's coming into. And offensively, they do a lot of really good things that challenge you. They got a really good scheme. Coach Herman is known him for a long time. He's always done a good job offensively, and they've got some speed. They got some dudes that can really run. That can take the top off really quick. Got a couple of talented backs in at number 3 and number 2 that are very impressive. Run hard. This is probably. This will be one of the biggest offensive lines we'll play against all year. These guys are massive. I mean, they're huge across the front and veteran group. So this is and then again the quarterback is a guy that can make throws. He can get out of the pocket. I'm sure they'll probably move him out of the pocket. He creates well, extends plays well. When he scrambles, he looks to throw. But he will pull it down and run it as well. So, again, this is a good football team. They're 2 games in. I know they're disappointed with their game they're coming off of, and with a couple turnovers in that game. But this is a team that will challenge us schematically and athletically. So look forward to that matchup and competing against these guys. And then over on the other side, defensively, same thing. They've got some very active guys up front that are disruptive. Number 50 and number 8, 2 really impressive inside players. 95 and 19 really just jump out at you, and 49 they play really hard. Guys on the back end can run. So just a good group across the board. They've kind of shown a little bit of everything in the first 2 games as far as their style of play. In and out of different fronts, multiple fronts, movement up front. They've shown a little bit of everything coverage wise in a couple games. So there's a lot of things on tape already just in 2 games. Not afraid to get up and challenge receivers, and also have played a lot of zone as well. So. A little bit of everything to get ready for, but at the end of the day, it's about us just keep building, see if we can cut out a couple of these disasters that we've had in the first 2 games, and offensively, and just put 4 good quarters together of complementary football, and if we do that, we can match up with anybody. But excited about again the opportunity this week, and look forward to it.
Let me see here. I think so. That excuse me again. Like I said, I was under the weather yesterday. I'm finally getting back over it. If you were playing along Dow Bingo, you had 3, 2, 58, 95, 19, and 49. So that's the game that we like to play is Dow Bingo. He really did, build up this FAU team, which, you know, every time I hear a coach, do this say about a lesser opponent, I always think back to Lou Holtz. You remember how every press conference he gave, this team could win the national title if they just had a chance. You know, yeah, I know that we were playing North, South, North, Eastern Dakota State University. but they got a hell of a program, and they're going to win the national title this year. Yeah. How much do you actually? How much stock do you put into what he's saying? Obviously, this is a a much bigger test than last week. You know, is it as big one as he is making out to be?
No, I think this. I think this is pretty typical Dabo Sweeney. Let's be honest. He does this a lot. When Clemson's playing
So
a
are
G5
you saying
team.
Dio and Lou Holtz are two peas in a pod?
There's some similarities there in that regard, at least. Anyways, I mean, we're talking about a team that lost to Ohio and rushed for 5 yards in that game. 3.2 yards per play, 185 total yards, 180 passing yards. Again, 5 rushing yards against Ohio behind that big, ginormous offensive line he's talking
That's right. I mean, hey, it's the biggest line they are going to face this season. I mean, I'm sure when Peter Woods and T.J. Parker signed up to come play Clemson, they had this game circled on their schedule.
about. Yeah, my man down here hit the nail on the head where he said Daboism. I think it's pretty typical for Dabo to talk up the opponents, and it's to me, you hear a lot of coaches doing it. I don't think it's that big a deal, but you got to know what you're listening to, right? I mean, you got to realize that it's a Daboism. Let's put it that way. Um, I'm with you though. I like to hear how many numbers he calls out each week.
Yeah. See, if you ever get the privilege of sitting in that meeting room like we do, you can actually see us in there, marking down, who he called out, uh, by number, and also another thing that's fun to do is to give an over under on, the time that he talks, because
On his
his
opening statement.
his opening statement sometimes is 10 minutes in itself. I mean, he goes through the offense, the defense, and a little bit of stuff about what's going on. But yeah, I am with you. I think this is not they may very well be the biggest offensive line they're going to face this season. There's a difference in Twinkie weight and also like you're going to see in a week and a half. So the talent and Twinkies can can account for some of the largeness on the offensive line. Hell, I mean Clemson has seen that in and of itself. I mean, how many guys can have come and they're huge, overweight guys that actually has to drop weight to play this level.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. This team is not Charleston Southern. Don't get me wrong. They're better than Charleston Southern, but they are not some big, powerful group of five school that's going to come in here and it should be competing with Clemson. This should be another cakewalk. This should be another opportunity for this offense to kind of try to find its groove before Florida State comes to town. If you get into the second quarter and this game's competitive, that it should open some eyes. No matter why it's competitive, if it's still from self-inflicted wounds, I mean, then you got an ongoing problem.
Yeah, Durangus, and I think he's talking about you. He's
I
calling
don't know.
you.
I'm missing the big part.
Oh, so he must be talking about
Florida Atlantic.
Riley.
Oh, okay. He's bigger than we are for sure.
Yes, he yes he is.
I'm guessing he's talking about the Florida Atlantic offensive line. They're big, but they're slow.
Yeah, I assume so. As a reminder, if you are just now joining us, make sure you like and subscribe uh, to the YouTube channel. It helps us out a ton. Also, make sure you go and join our uh, premium side of the website, allclemsontigers.com, the Death Valley domain, because we are going to have the biggest, most expensive giveaway that we have ever had. In fact, I forgot something that is going to give away. That shirt that Jason is wearing right now. We have some of those that are going to give away.
I
That
like
is
these
a
shirts. Can't you
yeah,
tell?
that is a Columbia, the lightweight kind. I think it's called. A is it USP or something like that? 50 shirt.
Yeah, I bet you. It's not cotton. It ain't made out of cotton.
No, it's just one of those fishing type shirts, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I can't remember the name, what kind of material it is.
Ever since those came in, those are like the only shirts that I wear around the house until
I
they
love
have
these
to go
shirts.
until they have to go in the laundry, and then I'll pull out one of these. All right, let's see here. Hey, John, look. I I am a huge Twinkie fan. All right, I can eat an entire box of Twinkies in a single sitting, and it disgusts the hell out of my wife. She'll sit there. Yeah, all right, so this is completely off the rails, but it's a radio show, so we can do what we want. All right, I'll never forget. All right, she generally starts to put our son to bed around 8:30 or so, and then she'll lay down with him, and kind of let him fall asleep, and then she'll make her way out of his room. Well, sometimes she falls asleep. Okay. Well, I was down here working in my office after she put him to bed, and I thought that she was still in his room. So I took the entire box of Twinkies up to her there. I was sitting in her bed eating 'em, and I got to the fifth one, and finally she's like, "You aren't seriously going to eat that fifth one, are you?" Scared the ever living, I she was sitting in a chair in the corner. She said she was sitting there just counting how many I would eat, and decided that, I reached number five, that she had to speak up. I mean, so ever since, the Tinky made its return, I guess it was probably what, 5 or 6 years ago. They actually brought out of retirement that, I am a huge fan of the Twinkie. I have never tried a deep fried Twinkie, though. Have you?
No, but that kind of sounds pretty good, man. I've never even really heard of it until I just saw that. Now my interest is piqued.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't tried that either. I think that sounds like something that you get like a
Fair.
state or county fair. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, it's almost fair season, man. At least where I live, anyways. It's about October, the fairs start rolling around.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can't wait. We always go, one night, to the fair up here in Spartanburg, and I love it. I hate, I hate the rides. Though. I, I do not trust any ride that can, be thrown together in 24 hours by a guy with three teeth
And a wife
and
beater. Wearing a wife beater.
oh,
It never fails every time.
it's true.
I don't
Oh,
trust those rides either. I don't ride the rides. My kids is
oh,
grown. I don't even have to go anymore. So.
oh. Twinkie is an all-time worst junk food. All right, hard time. It was nice knowing you. You are you will not be eligible for the massive swag giveaway that we are doing on the website for everyone who joins Death Valley Domain at either the $4.99 monthly or the yearly. Doesn't matter. As long as you join and we hit the 1,000 mark, we will give away every piece of swag that we have. Swiss rolls are good too. Look, I like those. However, I eat them different than a lot of people. I'll actually, take the Swiss roll apart. Yeah,
Unroll it.
uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I peel it open, okay. I take the chocolate off the outside, all right, and then I'll tear off just enough of the side of it that I can stick my finger in there. I scoop out the inside, eat the inside, then I eat the Swiss roll.
I used to unroll them when I was a kid.
Yeah,
That's funny.
yeah, yeah. Now also, look, while we're on junk food, we might as well stay here for just a minute. When you eat a double stuffed Oreo, I have to take it. Take it apart. I only eat the side of the cream. I throw the other side in the box. And here's the sick thing that I do. All right. So I will actually put them uh, together, the two sides that have no cream on, and put them back in the cabinet. So when the kids go eat them, they're just as little cookies.
That's dirty, man. I like it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I pay for them, so
I approve, man. I like it because I like screwing my daughters too, man. So Jason's stamp of approval right there.
All right, let's hit some of these. I'd like to see Green get some looks this game, locking around and keeping engaged right this year. Yeah, Jake Green still has been an interesting topic of discussion, not just on the radio show here, but also on our preview show. The issue with him is I haven't I haven't seen the route running and the work ethic that I thought every coach had been raving about this off season. So the issue is, I think if you're looking at blocking, I think he has been the cause of a sack or a pressure on more than one occasion. And then like I think it was Brad mentioned our pregame show last week. There was one time where he just like did some little jig or something. I don't know if maybe memories of playing the Fighting Irish guy or something. But he just kind of did a jig on the line of scrimmage and never really ran her out. So you know, I have personally, been somewhat disappointed in him. There's still a lot of time for the season, and I think if the Tigers are going to have the type of season that they still believe they can have, I think he has to be a huge part of it.
Agreed. I also agree with the part that he's probably not played as well as most would have expected through the first game, especially the season opener. I thought he was a little bit better this last game, but he's still got some room to improve. The terrible pick that clubbed me through, the one he even called himself the worst play of his career. He had Brennies to wide open on a little out route. before the pressure was even getting to him. I mean, I agree though. If Clemson wants to have the type of season that they want to have, Brenistle's got to be he's got to be a major player. We've seen the tight ends heavily involved in Garrett Riley's offenses in the past, and he needs to be heavily involved in this.
I agree. John has a question. Is this Food Channel app? Hey, look. This is whatever you want it to. You know, if you're going to listen to us talk about food, that's a good thing. Jermaine says this is what happens when we lose the open. Well, yeah, maybe. I, yeah. Hey, look, if Dow can talk about being a hair on a biscuit in a press conference, we can talk about Twinkies, Oreos, and Swiss rolls on the Auckland Tigers radio show.
I much rather talk about Swiss rolls and hairs and biscuits.
Exactly, yeah, yeah, and that's something. I had numerous responses. When I tweet out that line, I was like, I had people say, "Look, I'm from the country. I don't know what the hell that means."
One of my best friends is from up north, and he said, "What the hell does that mean?" Almost it texted me instantly.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we have a new we have a new restaurant coming here just down the street called Biscuitville. So I
Oh,
heard that.
we just got one of those like a couple months ago here, and I've not been, but it's got great reviews. People say it is fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. So listen. All right, if you are familiar with Biscuitville, or you know someone that is in the marketing advertising department, you can always have them contact our sales team. We would love for them to sponsor the show. Hell, I'll eat biscuits all day long if they'll provide them. You can get in touch with Brad or Sharnia. Either one of them would be happy to help out. So, yeah, looking ahead to FAU, it was released, that this game was an 8 o'clock night game. All of these players are excited about that. They're honestly, it it doesn't matter, who you are playing. A night game in Death Valley, there is something special about that. And so I fully expect everyone to well lubricated and you're feeling good come 7:30, 7:45 Saturday night. Then you flip the switch. And it's also announced yesterday the FSU game is a noon game. Now, I have seen this happen. Let's see. I can't honestly remember the last time the FSU game was a noon game.
Wasn't the year Clemson went down there and just beat the tar out of them? Like what was it, 60 something? They very barely avoided the shutout. Wasn't that a noon game?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. With the lone guy reading the
Yeah,
book.
that one.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was a good
I think you're right. Yeah. So obviously we know the fans are going to be jacked up, amped up, lubricated, you know, have their little flasks and stuff ready to go. Yeah, for the 8 o'clock game. Who do you think the time of the FSU game has more of an impact on Clemson or FSU, or does it even matter?
Um, I don't know. In this specific game, I don't know that it really matters. I think FSU is going to come in here amped up, but there's been a lot of times in the past we have seen, noon games. Clemson go on the road for a noon kickoff and it take them a little while to get going, or a visiting team come into Death Valley for a noon game and it take them a little while to get going. Although, I say the same thing about Clemson playing at home at noon too, but more often than not, it's been the visitor. Um, I don't know if it favors one or the other in this certain example, because I think both these teams are going to be up. Florida State hadn't beat Clemson since 2014. They're going to be coming into Death Valley looking to end that streak. 12 o'clock, 3:30, 8 o'clock. I don't think it matters.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just the Nose fans that are complaining. The Tiger fans are complaining as well. I mean, obviously, you know, if you look at the scheduling of the games and where things are, just 3 weeks ago, I would have, you know, at the house that this game is going to be a prime time game day. Instead, Coach Prime has Colorado, as the hype train this season. However, I am not buying into it. They struggled a little bit too much with Nebraska. I think they will fall hard a couple of times this season. The FSU game, though, uh, is going to be very interesting. The atmosphere, because Clemson fans, look, I love y'all. Y'all are great supporters of what you're trying to do. But there is a lot of fans, and especially students, who will have trouble getting to a new game. And look, the Clemson fan base, travels from Charleston, from Myrtle Beach, from all over the state. Noon games are hard for them. So, does that play a factor in the attendance? I mean, it's going to be a sellout. That is a given. It, it will be completely sold out. The thing is, how many Seminole fans will be there because they got their ticket off the second-hand market because Clemson fans just couldn't make any new game work.
Yeah, I'm being interested to see exactly what the split is, and depending on what happens Saturday night, if there are some empty seats up there, because the crowd we saw last week was the word. I haven't seen Death Valley that sparsely populated in a long time.
Yeah.
In a long time. I can't remember the last time there were that many empty seats in the North Deck. I mean, it was not even close to being half full. It was unbelievable. So depending on what happens this week, with this being a noon game, and it is it's a pain to get into Clemson for a noon game. Traffic is brutal. There might be some actual empty seats. People to just say, "Hey, I decide I'm gonna watch at home." I wouldn't be shocked if we see some empty seats up there.
Yeah, and look.
And they gave the primetime slot to Texas and Baylor.
Mm-hmm.
Texas and Baylor. So you still got a top 5 team against an unranked team.
Mm. Yeah, the fact that losing to Duke affected the game times this much, really is shocking. However, I think that the Clemson Tigers are going to come out. Look, they don't care if this game was at 8 a.m., 11 a.m., noon, midnight, all that stuff. They don't care because I have a feeling that just like you said that FSU is coming in here, on their longest losing streak ever, that they uh, have not, had really a very competitive game with Clemson in a while, and they are coming off, their huge win against LSU. Which look, we will know a lot more about these teams in the next 2 3 weeks than we ever knew about them after week 1 and 2. Because I have always said it's easy to get up for one game. You can jack yourself up. That's why I love the postseason, the bowl games, because you get guys like the uh, Boise States who can take on Oklahoma and beat them. 9 times out of 10, Oklahoma is going to curve stomp those teams. So I think that this Tiger team has this game circled. They look, if they can beat FSU, they are jumping back proudly in the top 15, and they'll have a chance against Notre Dame, who's ranked, against Miami, who's ranked, against UNC, who's ranked. They could put together a hell of a story, like Will Shipley said today. That is something I think that they are ready for. It's to me, are the fans going to bring the energy, or is it going to look like Williams Rice at the second half, which it did last week? Last week I was so embarrassed for those players who came out after halftime and saw thousands and thousands and thousands of empty seats. It looked like it wasn't even as full as a spring game. So
it wasn't after halftime. It's I know it's easy to feel like it feels like it's deliberate punishment to be put in that noon slot, but that noon slot's a national slot. I think it's the second most watched slot on the ESPN ABC family of networks pretty much every week. So it's not like a slap in the face or anything, but I do find it interesting that they chose to put Texas and Baylor at 7:30 rather than Clemson, Florida State. If you're going to put a ranked team against an unranked team, that's the rivalry game to put there, So I get where that's coming from. But you're still getting one of those national slots as opposed to a regional 3:30 slot. Man,
yeah,
it's so hard to get into Clemson for a noon game. But I will say this: I remember Trevor Lawrence's first start against Syracuse when he got knocked out, and Chase Price came in, and Clemson came back, won that game. There was that place was jumping that day like I have never heard it for a noon game. It kind of had the energy of a night game, so I've seen it happen before. I know it can happen. I've seen it happen before.
Yeah, that was XT's, coming out show then. When he laid that QB out.
Yes, same game. XT's coming out party.
Yeah. Already one of the few teams you ever see drive after wins. It's not like the rest of the top 25 stay unbeaten. I don't think it's necessarily that we draw tons and you draw basically one spot, and that's because teams that are now un, you know unbeaten have won ranked games. you saw I jump in after taking care of Texas A&M, and there are a couple other schools like that. So as we have said numerous times, these rankings are garbage. They don't matter. They are just to provide talking points. I promise you, irregardless of that loss to Duke, if the end of the season comes and Clemson's sitting here at 12-1, having won the ACC championship over FSU or whoever is the second place team, and they take care of business against you know your Florida State in 2 weeks, Notre Dame, and UNC and IA, you will see them in the playoff because the committee will look at that Duke game as the outlier, and we have seen it numerous times. It is better to lose early than late. You need so much more help and you lose late than you do when you lose early. Because if that Duke game had week 9, then the opportunities aren't there to make up the loss. So
Yeah, look, I'm not buying into conspiracy theories of why Clemson's dropping because they hate us. They hate Clemson. I ain't buying into any of that. These voters don't watch all these games, man. They definitely ain't sitting through a Clemson Charleston Southern game. They saw that Clemson was trailing, late in the first quarter, only up by a touchdown at halftime. Probably watched none of it live and based their vote on that.
yeah,
So it's not all that surprising, and it's not because the school is named Clemson. Um, you mentioned Trevor Lawrence's season. It happened to us before. Trevor Lawrence last season, Clemson played like ass most of them weeks. Barely getting by. You should have lost in North Carolina probably. They kind of deserved to drop those weeks or a lot of those weeks because they were not playing up to their potential at that time. I don't buy in all the conspiracy theories and all this. Well, they hate Clemson. ESPN hates Clemson. The media hates Clemson. Look, obviously there are certain individuals out there that don't like Dabo Swinney because of what he believes in and all that stuff. But when you start talking about ESPN hates Clemson and everybody in the media hates Clemson, you kind of lose me. I mean, I just don't think it's that big of a deal. Talking about the AP Bowl, man, it don't mean anything.
Yeah, any time you are talking about, let me see here, I'm actually trying to multitask here because I want to share something. Uh, yeah, I am with you, the whole conspiracy theory, the everyone hates Clemson stuff. That is so untrue. I mean, there is probably one person who hates Clemson, and it is this guy right here. Let me see, how can
I think I know who you got to throw up there.
yeah. Let me see here. Ah, here. Here we go. This guy.
Okay, okay. Well, we got two then, because I was thinking of Dan Walken.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He definitely can't stand Clemson.
Exactly. Like you said, Jason, these voters, they are covering their own teams and their own games and national stuff. They check a box score and go, holy cow, you know, they were only down by 6 at halftime, and then they blew out. That
Yeah.
is garbage, so I'm going to draw. You know, no one can watch every game, and so that is why you can't. That is why these type rankings are such garbage. So let's
Or the fact that it's not swimming or tennis, the fact that it's not
yeah.
tennis.
Yeah. And a little Rays update.
Yeah, Braves and Phillies tied 1-1 after that home run, if I'm not mistaken.
I tell you what, Olson he was a head scratching, acquisition when they got him. Yeah, because honestly, I wasn't that familiar with him. Now, I honestly didn't realize that he had the home run capability and power that he has had. So I am very glad that he is a Gray. So let's kind of moving on a little bit. The Peter Woods hype. Do you are you buying into the hype more on Woods or Parker? Because for me,
Right.
TJ Parker, when you look at his snap count in last week's game and the Duke game, he accumulated more snaps than Justin Rascal. Now, you have to preface that by saying, a lot of his snaps came in the second half of that CSU game, where the game was out of control, and they could just pin their ears back. However, I think Woods is having more of an more of an impact on the opposing team's offenses, yeah, simply because of the push he's getting straight up the gut. That is the one area where offensive coordinators, offensive line coaches will tell you that you cannot allow someone to come straight up the gut. You have to flare out to the side so your quarterback, like Klubnik, should, in theory, step forward into the pocket rather than having to run back.
Yeah, I took my binoculars to the game last week specifically so I could zero in on Peter Woods and watch him up close.
Yeah,
And man,
you
he
had
is.
some big ass binoculars too.
I didn't
Like,
know they were gonna be that big when I ordered them.
yeah, these are like
Yeah, they
these.
big. Hey, they heavy too. But he is a force inside. They couldn't handle him double teaming him the other day. Um, so yeah, I'm buying the hype. Absolutely. I buy the hype with Parker too. Clemson's got less depth defensive end, so maybe he sees the field a little bit more than Woods does, here early on. It was actually John Sarian pointed out snap count, the difference in the snap count for me last night. Parker played a substantial amount of more snaps than Maskell did on Saturday. Hard to know if that was because of the blowout or what, but he's been productive when he's been out there, and he's just going to get better. Man, I think he's going to have a big impact on this defensive line. He might be the third guy going out there, but right now he's playing more snaps than Maskell is.
Yeah, I mean, when I used to coach, I coached basketball and football at the high school level. And when I coached, I always told my guys, it's not who starts the game that's important, it's who finishes the game. So I think we aren't going to learn a lot this week. Hopefully this game is not a learning experience for us with regards to playing time and who is ahead of whom. But the FSU game is going to be very interesting because
I'll,
FSU has some dudes on the O line.
yeah, absolutely. But I'll tell you, if we're talking about freshmen, I'll tell you something that kind of jumped out at me today that Dabo Sweeney said. He was asked about the battle at left tackle between Tristan Lee, Colin Sadler, and he talked about how neither one had separated themselves yet, and said maybe at some point one of them would, but he also added in there that if neither one of them did, he was fine with that too. So I mean,
That is not good.
that caught me. That was the one thing that stood out the most to me in his press conference today. Was the way he said it made it sound like he was he was that pleased with how both of them had played. But somebody's got to separate themselves, man. Either that's you don't want to be rotating in and out at left tackle. We're talking about your quarterback's blind side, man. You need somebody to separate there.
Yeah, I look at that in the same light as earlier this season when we were talking at our preview show. I mean, you're saying Ohio State, having two QBs is means that you only have one. And I called you Steve Spurrier because that was his O line. I think of it the same way. I mean, that is scary that you're heading in to week 3 and you're not settled on your O line yet. I mean, Tristan Lee, he got has some very let's just call it poor execution at times against Duke. And Sadler, I just don't see how them not having the set offensive line rotation is a good thing.
I think Lee's play. He's had some moments where he's gotten whipped, but I think overall he's mostly played okay. To me, Blake Miller's the one that's kind of had the disappointing start. He's not been very good in pass protection the first 2 games. He's got to be better. Period.
Yeah, and it's funny because all season long, all preseason, you heard how this was the deepest and best offensive line Clemson had in a long time, and they were ready to prove themselves and just go out there and make a statement that they can dominate on their line. And through the first 2 games, I mean, I have yet to see a dominant offensive line. I mean, you
I think
see,
they I think they've been fine when it comes to the running game. They played well, but they've still got some areas. They got some work to do still in pass protection.
yeah. I will say this, and I'm going to sound like a nerd here, that I loved seeing for the first time this season. And look, I understand that they have done it more than this one time. However, I it was the first time I noticed it from the press box, seeing the GT rush, the guard tackle pull, leading for your blocker or running back. I saw that really far, you know, the first time last Saturday, and swiftly it led to a hole the size you could drive a truck through. So I think there is there is some uh, positives there. Left tackle though is not on.
Yeah, to me, for me along the offensive line so far in pass protection, to me, the biggest issue's been at right tackle, Blake Miller. I mean, I agree that there's been some issues on the left side too. It's been a little up and down. I still think Lee's mostly played good. Colin Sadler was the highest graded freshman offensive lineman this week by Pro Football Focus or PFF College. Um, I just don't think Blake Miller's got off to a great start this year in his pass protection. He looks like he's kind of regressed a little bit.
I
I don't know
agree.
what it is over there.
I agree. And hard time gets in and says, I was thinking the same thing. In the third, fourth strings coming into games, generally at Clemson, you see this massive drop off. You see them start to give up the chunk plays, and that's when the offenses for the other team kind of has the score a little bit. There was none of that Saturday on offense or defense. I mean, you're talking combined throw the offense through for 400 some odd yards at an 80% completion percentage. That is unheard of across the four guys that play. So
Yep, that was usually the day after a game. I throw up like 3 or 4 sentences of what I saw during the game on Facebook or something, and that was the last thing I put on there. It was nice to see those backups go out there and there not be this big noticeable drop off. And I had to make sure I added in there. Yeah, I know it's Charleston Southern, but if you go back to Furman last year, South Carolina State the year before that, there's always that noticeable drop off, and there wasn't Saturday. That those guys, I think this coaching staff hit on some guys big time in this 2023 recruiting class. There is some dudes in this class that they are going to be really, really good.
I agree. Well, that'll just about do it for us. I want to remind everyone Jason set the mark 1,000 members in our Death Valley domain is $4.99 a month or $49 a year. And we hit 1,000 members. We are giving away every piece of swag that we have. The Columbia shirt that he is wearing, the hat that he is wearing, not the exact ones. I mean, I'm not going to make you wear a hat that Jason is wearing. But the hat, the white Nike hat, the gray Nike hat, this shirt right here, also will be giving away an All Clemson Tigers purple polo shirt, an All Clemson Tigers puffer jacket. So, and you know what I'm going to even throw in? I am even going to throw in this shirt that you can wear when Notre Dame comes to town.
Rudy
So,
was offsides.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we'll have all that stuff and probably a lot more in the ultimate swag giveaway when we hit 1,000 subscribers over on the allclemsontigers.com page. You can click Death Valley domain. You get Jason's stories on recruiting. You get insights from myself and Brad. Also, we have uh, virtual happy hours that we're going to have where we just all get together on this uh, swing yard and we have a beverage or two and just talk football or whatever y'all want to talk about. So make sure you go over and subscribe there. You will not be disappointed. Jason, it was a blast, man. I miss you from Friday till London.
You just wanted to hear my bad luck stories.
Yes, I did. So
Let's go eat some Twinkies, man.
let's do it. Let's do it. For Jason Priester, I am Zach Lentz. You've been listening to All Clemson Tigers radio show. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night, same time on all our social networks. Smash that subscribe button, smash that like button, leave a comment below on whether you're a Twinkie or a Swiss roll fan. We'll see y'all tomorrow.